Welcome to this spoken tutorial on working with regular files in Linux. Files and directories together form the Linux file system. In a previous tutorial, we have already seen how to work with directories. You can find the tutorial at this website. In this tutorial, we will see how to handle regular files. We have already seen in another tutorial how we can create a file using the cat command. For details, please visit this website. Let us see how to copy a file from one place to another. For this, we have the cp command. Let us see how the command is used. To copy a single file, we type cp space one or more of the options space the name of the source file space the name of the destination file. To copy multiple files at the same time, we write cp space one or more of the options, the name of the source files that we want to copy, and the name of the destination directory in which these files would be copied. Let us now see an example. First, we open a terminal. We already have a file named test1 in our home directory.
To see what is in test1,
we type cat space test1 and press enter. As we can see, the content of test1 is shown. Now if we want to copy it into another file called test2, we would write cp space test1 space test2 and press enter. Now the file has been copied. If test2 does not exist, it would be first created and then the content of test1 will be copied to it. If it already existed, then it would be silently overwritten. To see the copied file, type cat space test2 and press enter. We can also copy files from and to different directories. For example, type cp space /home /anirban /arc /demo1, which is the name of the file that we want to copy, space /home /anirban /demo2 and press enter. What this will do is that it will copy the file demo1 from the source directory /home /anirban /arc to the destination directory /home /anirban. It will copy to a file whose name is demo2. To see whether demo2 is there, type ls space /home /anirban and press enter. We scroll up and as you can see, here is demo2. Before moving ahead, let us clear the screen.
if you want the file to have the same name in the destination directory,
you may not even mention the file name. For example, type cp space /home /anirban /arc /demo1 space /home
/anirban
/ and press enter. This will again copy the file demo1 present in the /home/anirban/arc directory to /home/anirban directory to a file whose name will be demo1 as well. As before, to see demo1 type ls/home/anirban and press enter. Here again we would scroll up, and as you can see, demo1 file is there. Again, before moving ahead, let us clear the screen. Another instance when we do not need to give the destination file name is when we want to copy multiple files. We assume that we have three files named test1, test2 and test3 in our home directory. Now we type cp space test1 space test2 space test3 space /home/anirban/testdir and press enter. This will copy all the three files named test1, test2 and test3 to the directory /home/anirban/testdir without changing their names. To see that these files have actually been copied, we will type ls space /home/anirban/testdir and press enter. As you can see, test1, test2 and test3 are present in this directory.
There are many options that go with cp.
Here we will see only the most important of them. Let us first go back to the slides. Among the options, the capital R is an important one. It causes recursive copying of an entire directory structure. Let us see an example. Let us try to copy all the contents of the testdir directory to a directory called test. For that, we would type cp space testdir /space test and press enter. As you can see from the output message, normally we cannot copy a directory having some content directly with the cp command, but using the -r option we can do this. Now we type cp space -R space testdir /space test and press enter. The files have now been copied. To see whether the test directory actually exists, type ls and press enter. As you can see, the test directory exists. Let us clear the screen. To see the contents inside test, type ls space test and press enter. You can see the contents of the test directory. Now we go back to the slides.
We have seen if a file is copied to another file
that already exists, the existing file is overwritten. Now what if we inadvertently overwrite an important file? To prevent anything like this to occur, we have the -b option. This makes a backup of each existing destination file. We can also use the -i interactive option. This always warns us before overwriting any destination file.
Now let us see how the mv command works.
This is used for moving files. Now, how is that useful? It has two major uses. It is used for renaming a file or directory. It also moves a group of files to a different directory. MV is very similar to CP, which we have already seen. So let us quickly see how MV can be used. We open the terminal and type MV space test1 space test2 and press enter. This will rename the file named test1, which was already present in the home directory, to a file named test2. If test2 already existed, then it would be overwritten silently. If we want a warning before a file is overwritten,
we can use the -i option with the mv command.
Say we have another file named Anirban. This file we also want to rename as test2. We will type mv space -i space Anirban space test2 and press enter. As you can see, a warning is provided asking whether test2 should be overwritten or not. If we press Y and then press enter, the file would be actually overwritten. Like CP, we can use MV with multiple files, but in that case, the destination should be a directory. Before moving ahead, let us clear the screen. Suppose we have three files named abc.txt, pop.txt and push.txt in our home directory. To see their presence, type ls and press enter. Here are the files: pop.txt, push.txt and abc.txt. Let us clear the screen. Now we want to move these three files to a directory called testdir. What we need to do is type mv space abc.txt, pop.txt space push.txt and then the name of the destination folder, which is testdir, and press enter. To see them, type ls space testdir and press enter. You can see the files abc, pop and push.txt. Now let us see some options that go with MV. Let us first go back to the slides. The -b or -backup option is present with the mv command. It will back up every file in the destination before it is overwritten. The -i option that we have already seen warns us before overwriting any destination file. The next command we will see is the rm command. This command is used for deleting files. Go back to the terminal and type ls testdir. We can see a file named faq.txt present. Say we want to delete it. For this we type rm space testdir / faq.txt and press enter. This command will remove the file faq.txt from the testdir directory. To see whether the file has been actually removed or not, let us again press ls space testdir and press enter. we can no longer see the file faq.txt. We can use the rm command with multiple files as well. The testdir directory contains two files, abc2 and abc1. Suppose we want to remove these files, abc1 and abc2. For this, we would type rm space testdir slash abc1 space testdir slash abc2 and press enter. This will move the files abc1 and abc2 from testdir directory. To see whether they have been removed, type ls space testdir again. You can no longer see abc1 and abc2. Let us clear the screen before moving ahead. Now let us go back to these slides. Let us summarize what we just said. That is, to delete a single file, we write rm and then the name of the file. To delete multiple files, we write rm and the name of the multiple files that we want to delete. Now let us look into some of the options of the rm command. Sometimes a file is write protected. Using rm will not delete the file then. In this case, we have the -f option, which can be used to force delete a file. The other common option is the -r option. Let us see where these options are useful. Let us switch back to the terminal. rm command is not normally used for deleting directories. For that, we have the rmdir command. But rmdir command normally deletes a directory only when it is empty. What if we want to delete a directory that has a number of files and subdirectories inside? Let us try the rm command to do this. Let us type rm and the directory that we want to delete, which is testdir, and press enter. From the output message, you can see that we cannot use the rm directory to delete testdir. But if we combine the -r and the -f option, then we can do this. Press rm -rf space testdir and then press enter. Now the testdir directory has been successfully deleted. Let us now go back to the slides to study the next command, the cmp command. Sometimes we need to check whether two files are same. If they are same, then we may delete one of them. Also, we may want to see whether a file has changed since the last version. For these and many other purposes, we can use the cmp command. It compares two files byte by byte. To compare file 1 and file 2, we would write cmp space file1 space file2. If the two files have exactly the same content, then no message would be shown. Only the prompt will be printed. If there are differences in their contents, then the location of the first mismatch will be printed on the terminal. Let us see how cmp works. We have two files named sample1 and sample2 in our home directory. Let us see what they contain. Type cat sample1 and press enter. It contains the text, "This is a Linux file to test the cmp command." The other file, sample2, will contain the text, And to see that, we will type cat sample2 and press enter. It will contain the text. This is a Unix file to test the CMP command. Now we would apply the CMP command on these two files. We will write CMP space sample1 space sample2 and press enter. As we can see, the first difference between the two files, sample1 and sample2, is pointed out. Let us clear the screen before moving ahead to the next command. The next command we will see is the WC command.
This command is used to count the number of characters, words and lines in a file.
We have a file named sample3 in our home directory. Let us see its content. For that, we would type cat space sample3 and press enter. This is the content of sample3. Now let us use the WC command on this file. For that, we would write WC space sample3 and press enter. This command points out that the file has 6 lines, 67 words and 385 characters. These were some of the commands that help us to work with files. There are many more commands. Moreover, each of the command that we saw has many other options. I encourage you to see more about them using the man command. This brings me to the end of this tutorial at last. Spoken Tutorial project is a part of the Talk to a Teacher project supported by the National Mission on Education through ICT, MHRD, Government of India. More information on the same is available at the following link: http://spoken-tutorial.org/nmeict-intro. This is Anirban signing off. Thanks for joining.